Something is going on with Shedeur Sanders right now. Something is forcing him to drop in mock draft. Something is kind of percolating around the scouting combine. Absolutely, there's something going on because Shedeur Sanders was widely regarded as the first or second pick of this NFL draft during the football season. And now, once we get to the combine, just a couple of months short of the NFL draft, there's multiple mock drafts that have dropped him to 4, 5, or even 6. Why? I got my theories. Let's dig in. A reminder before we get there to subscribe to the channel. Click on this button below me. That way you'll get full NFL draft coverage like the video that we did about Cam Scatteraboo not long ago. And we'll do this throughout the next couple of weeks before the NFL draft. Hit me up right here. Subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notified when we've got new DA deep dives like this one up. Click on this button below me. Shedeur Sanders had a very, very productive season this year for Colorado. And during the year, mock draft analysts and executives and scouts and analysts all seem to assume that for the quarterback-needy teams that will obviously be at the top or will need to trade into those slots, Shedeur Sanders is going to be one of the first 2 players picked. And now we have Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, his teammate, and others actually building a case to be above him and that he falls all the way to perhaps number 6. So what is going on? I think personally, as you get closer to the draft, you have more executives dissecting what their locker room is going to look like and more paranoia about culture and more scrutiny on what an owner, a general manager, a coach is comfortable with. And during the football season, it's easy to say Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks of the nation. Obviously, people need quarterbacks, so thus 2 + 2 = 4. But I really believe there is a fear, a true fear, that the juice isn't worth the squeeze on Shedeur. Here's why. Shedeur Sanders comes with ready-made celebrity. And he comes with empowerment, okay? And those 2 things are very scary to NFL GMs and NFL owners and NFL coaches. What I mean by that is Shedeur has been a celebrity since high school, okay? And when he followed his dad to both of his coaching stops, his dad empowered him every step of the way to maximize the celebrity. So Shedeur has a camera crew around him all the time. Shedeur has a very popular social media presence. Shedeur already has a brand. And Shedeur speaks like he's a guy that's empowered and has a brand. He speaks like a young man that knows he is in the catbird seat, okay? Why? Because once upon a time, his dad did it without actually knowing whether it was going to work. But his dad was the bold, brash, neon Deion Sanders who built a brand out of nothing, coming from nothing, when he was just in college at Florida State and then ultimately drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Deion was, in many ways, the trailblazer of doing the things that all these young guys want to do today. The flashy guy that looks cool, acts cool, has a brand, and can basically wave his fingers or wave his wand to get certain business deals done. That you yourself are a brand before you even step on the field of the NFL. Sanders did that. Deion did this once upon a time. And so he knows what you can pull. He's been the power broker. When he was in the NFL, he leveraged his power to leave Atlanta to go to San Francisco. He was a mercenary. They won a Super Bowl in '94 with Deion Sanders. That one year, he leveraged into a long-term, very highly paid deal with the Dallas Cowboys, became a mercenary for them, and cashed in when they won the Super Bowl in 1995. During the mid-90s, it became basically accepted wisdom that if you had Deion, he was the final piece of the puzzle to win a Super Bowl. You needed him in this battle between the Niners and Cowboys. Whoever had Deion, that was the leg up you needed to get past the other and win a championship. So he's been in the war rooms. He's been in the boardrooms. He's been in the executive suites to know, hey, this is the leverage, this is the power you have. And that, it scared executives in 1989 and 1990 when Deion was coming out of Florida State and drafted in a young guy. And it still scares him today when he is indoctrinating his son with that. I've got leverage, I've got power, I've got attention, I'm going to use it. So that part of things, because remember, in football, there is still this dedication to, it's about team, it's not about the personality. It's about the organization, it's about the name on the front of your jersey, not the name on the back of the jersey. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I don't think that that's just made up cockamamie nonsense that NFL coaches use to keep you down. I think you have to be a team. I think you have to be respectful of the other guys in your orbit. I think you have to realize, unlike any other sport, that if you don't do your job, not only are you putting at risk the other 10 guys in doing their job, you're putting their health at risk as well. So I absolutely believe in pulling together, unity, teamwork, etc. But coaches, oh my God. GMs, oh my God. Owners, all these guys are so terrified of guys that color outside the lines, do their own individual thing, especially if you're a young guy. They really don't like it if you're a young guy. And I think that dynamic scares them. And so I think you went from a Shedeur Sanders during the football season where people looked at his football first, okay, and saw him scoot out of the pocket, evade a defender, make a throw downfield, look like an agile, creative, playmaking quarterback. I think they saw that then and said, well, that equates to the first or second pick of the draft. And today, I think executives look at the football and they like it, but they go, at what cost? And look, let's be fair. If Shedeur Sanders had the skill set of Cam Newton or maybe of Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, and they said, well, he's elite enough to deal with that, then he would be 1 or 2. And he might still go 1 or 2. But mocks wouldn't drop him all the way to 6, okay? But instead, because he's not that polished, he's not that great like those guys I just mentioned, now you can start talking yourself into, well, is it really worth it? Is it worth the distractions? And I think the Deion thing scares a lot of them as well, not only because he may have taught Shedeur how to be Deion 2.0, but now you're dealing with Deion 1.0 behind the scenes of Deion 2.0. That frightens NFL executives. Now, look, mock drafts don't necessarily mean a thing. We may very well see a team like the Titans or the Browns grab Shedeur at number 1 or number 2. But at the moment, I think these mock drafts, oftentimes informed by talking to GMs at the combine, talking to coaches at the combine, are hearing executives be skittish, scouts be nervous about the things I just mentioned about with Shedeur Sanders, which are beyond football. I'm just going to read to you the Sporting News mock draft, okay? The latest. Titans go Abdul Carter number 1. But number 2, the Browns going Travis Hunter. Number 3, the Giants with Shedeur and Cam Ward both on the board, go Cam Ward. Number 4, the Patriots, not needing a QB, take Will Campbell, lineman, LSU. And the Jaguars also bypassing the quarterback because they have Trevor Lawrence, meaning the Raiders at 6 is where Shedeur would go. I would imagine a team that needs a quarterback would trade up before Shedeur drops all the way to 6. But again, I think that is mirroring the type of worry that you have around the NFL because of the brashness, the control, the leverage, and the distractions of being a brand of Shedeur Sanders. That's going to do it for me. Subscribe to the channel by clicking on this button right next to me. That way you'll get notified when we do other DA deep dives like this one for the NFL draft. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm DA. We'll talk to you later.